go. So, here to talk about Psalm 46 today. And I've had a good long time to sort of think about how to do it. And this is certainly something I've never done before. Steve talked to me about it months and months ago when we did an exercise for Crosslands, and said he wanted me to present it, never said a thing about it, and I thought he's forgotten, so I thought, cool, I don't have to do it now. But then a few weeks ago he mentioned it again and said, yeah, you're presenting, you're doing your talk, aren't you? And I was like, think of something quick, like, well, you can't do it. And I just said, yeah, okay. And there I was. So I couldn't think of an excuse, but here we are. So one of the many things I've learned in this past year is that God has taken me places that I would never have expected, and I can fight all I want out of my human fear, but you just have to trust in God, and through this, through doing that, I've experienced bursts of growth after one shackle after another has been removed. So hopefully this is another one. And we watched a video this morning. I just want to quote from that, and basically say that I have confidence to be up here, but that is not of me. I have confidence because I know the Holy Spirit is within me and guiding me. So I'm not going to preach to you today. We'll leave that to the experts, the elders and the pastors. They seem like they know what they're talking about, so I'll call them experts. So this is literally going to be like the facts that I found out from researching, results of my Bible study. So hopefully it's coherent. And also I was thinking the last couple of days when I was going through my notes, this could literally be aimed at the me from 2 years ago who was going through all this crazy stuff. These are the sort of things that were being told to me and really helped me get through quite a difficult time. So hopefully this will speak to people who are going through stuff now, and hopefully it'll make some sense. I'm just going to try and speak from my heart and hope I don't say anything so bad that has you all backsliding. So here we go. I'm setting the bar low, like, so hopefully if it's good, then it'll be a surprise. So I've entitled it "God Is." So we'll just be talking about God's character and how this psalm has affected me. So. And I'll go through some questions. These aren't anything to get into groups. These are just things to consider. And like I said, I've been through some crazy times, and we all, I guess, go through hard times in our lives. And and just these are questions that I've asked myself. Have you ever felt anxious or uncertain about anything? Have you ever felt that you were in a situation that was out of your control? Have you ever called out to God to rescue you? I know I have, and if this is striking a chord with you, then hopefully this talk will be helpful. And I don't know what I've done with my Bible. Because I had the Bible right here with Psalm 46 on that. So we're going to read from Psalm 46 today. So, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear though the earth gives way, though the mountains be moved into the heart of the sea, though its waters roar and foam, though the mountains tremble at its swelling. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God, the holy habitation of the Most High. God is in the midst of her, she shall not be moved. God will help her when morning dawns. The nations rage, the kingdoms totter, he utters his voice, the earth melts. The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is our fortress. Come, behold the works of the Lord, how he's brought desolations on the earth. He makes wars cease to the end of the earth. He breaks the bow and shatters the spear. He burns the chariots with fire. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our fortress. Whew. So on the slide behind me, you probably see some very funny looking words. Can anyone guess what that is? German. So yeah, basically this is the lyrics for Mighty Fortress is Our God, or Ein Festberg ist unser Gott. These are the English ones. So this This isn't the one of the funny pictures that I'm going to be showing. Neil's probably looking ahead and seeing what's next. So, sorry. So this was, in my research, I didn't actually hit upon Luther originally, but then I was, Googling as you do, and this is described as Luther's Psalm. So I wanted to find out about Luther and how this clearly affected him. So obviously found out, this is a bit of boring history, written in about 1527 to 1529. Luther would often turn to the Psalms for comfort. He had quite a turbulent time during the Reformation. He would often, with his co-worker, Philip Melanchthon, I think he's the guy on the left, and Luther's the big guy with the guitar thing. What is it? A lute, okay. So they'd sing the psalm out loud. And he said, we sing this psalm to the praise of God because he is with us and powerfully and miraculously preserves and defends his church and his word against all fanatical spirits, against the gates of hell, against the implacable hatred of the devil, and against all the assaults of the world, the flesh and sin. He was excommunicated, went into hiding. Previous to that, he had several near-death experiences. So you can see he had a very dramatic life. Now, any of this is enough to dent anyone's faith, but he persevered, and this hymn is a response to this psalm. Now, I'm going to show you some slides right now, and it might appear that I'm going slightly off the reservation, but stay with me. There is a link, although a very tenuous one. So I'm going to show you some pictures, and sorry about this. So there is a point. There is a point. One for the Americans. You guys should know who that is. Big Time Rush. And O-Town. Now this is going on to possibly the Sons of Korah, our own heavenly boy band. See, that's the link. That's literally it. So this was from the Sons of Korah. I don't know if that's them in the picture, but that is the type of celebration that would have taken place after a victory. You can tell this is written by me, so. This is a psalm from the Sons of Korah. I don't know if you noticed the little bits at the beginning of the Psalms and other books in the Bible that I tend to ignore. So when I was reading this, I didn't really know who the Sons of Korah were. So I found out they descended from Korah, who rebelled against God, who sent fire from heaven to kill him and his accomplices. I think it is in Numbers 26:11, it says that the line of Korah will not die out, so presumably Korah's wife and children were spared. The descendants or sons of Korah had great faith in God, and this showed in the Psalms they wrote. The Korah, is it Korahites or Korahites? In this boy band, you have Heman, Asaph and Jeduthun, possibly backed, I think, by cymbals, harps, lyres, and 120 priests with trumpets. And I don't know why that's funny, but, and that reference is in 2 Chronicles 5:12-13. You can stop laughing now, Josh, it's not funny. But anyway, I'm just kidding. But most psalms start with a plea or some sort of crisis, so I guess this kind of stands out. And it's kind of like a victory song, perhaps, as I researched again, after Jehoshaphat's victory over the Moabites and Ammonites around 890 BC. And this psalm was a response to what God did for them. Now, the first verse says, God is our refuge and strength, and that is God and nobody else. And in Psalm 27:5, it says, for he will hide me in his shelter in the day of trouble. He will conceal me under the cover of his tent. He will lift me high upon a rock. And to me, that is just mind-blowing. It's just amazing to read words like that. And this, for me, as well as Psalm 46, talk about God being our refuge from the situations we are in, or any difficult times that we may be having. As you guys know, life isn't always pretty, and I know from personal experience of trying to correct things myself and end up normally in a bit of trouble. So reading this psalm just tells me to trust in God, because he'll keep me safe. Now, we've all been through situations, or have been touched by situations such as, I don't know, cancer, death, children, with various different medical conditions, mental health issues, and probably a lot of things that I don't know about. But God kept you, and certainly kept me through these situations. And whether you've had a miracle intervention or not, God has been present in every one of those situations. But we must endure. And again, from personal experience, it's so easy to throw our hands up in the air and give up and walk away. But in doing that, you may very well find yourself in the same situation time and time again. Deuteronomy 31:6 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you." And it may seem hard to think like that when you're in that situation, but as I think we've all probably read the poem Footprints, God is always with us, and in those times the Lord is carrying us. He never leaves us, he'll never forsake us, and he loves us so much. And again, another thing that's important for me is fellowship. If you look at Ecclesiastes 4:9-12, it says, "Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fail, one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up." Again, if two lie together, they keep warm, but how can one keep warm alone? And though a man might prevail against one who is alone, two will stand him. A threefold cord is not quickly broken. We are to be there for one another. In my opinion, in my experience, suffering alone can easily end in disaster. And not to be dramatic, life gets pretty lonely, and you need that backup to help you through these tough times. You need people to point you back to the cross, and I found that GCs, or certainly my GC, I'm sure all are great for that. But I found out that my friends cannot fix me, and they shouldn't even try. They just need to love and support people the best they can, but always pray for them and point them towards Jesus. God is also our strength. I have a verse stuck on my wall. It's a pretty classic one, although they are pretty classic, all of them. It's Philippians 4:13. "I can do all things through him who strengthens me." Now, I don't know if this is a man thing. I want to always appear to be together and, sorted, and to be able to sort my business out. It's certainly true of me, but as I found out, and as we all know, that we are weak on our own, but with our God we can do anything. As Jeremiah 32:17, so I'm quoting loads of the Bible. Actually, no, what am I sorry for? I'll be sorry. Sorry. It says, "Our Lord God, it is you who have made the heavens and the earth by your great power and by your outstretched arm." So basically, nothing is too hard for him. He'll overcome anything. Nothing is too big for him. God is also a very present help in times of trouble. As I said before, we've all encountered different sort of situations. You could be in trouble. You could have problems with your job. You could have lost your job. You could be about to lose your home, and you may do very well for a while. Certainly, how I felt when I lost my job last year. But after I processed things, reality started to set in, and I found myself in the middle of a crisis. I didn't feel too good at all. I didn't know. I was very upset, and I didn't know what to do. I felt helpless, and that things were out of my control. And control certainly is an interesting one. Often I feel, and I'm sure others feel this too, that we need to be in control and to be able to do things ourselves. However, God is the one in control the whole time, and all we need to do is go to him. We need to just get off our high horses, humble ourselves, and let go of the grip we have in our lives. It says in Proverbs 3:5-6, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In your ways acknowledge him, and he will make straight your paths." And Hebrews 4:15-16 says, "For we do not have a high priest who is unable to sympathize with our weaknesses, but one who in every aspect has been tempted as we are, yet without sin. Let us then with confidence draw near to the throne of grace that we may receive mercy and find grace to help in times of need. I mean, for me, these verses pretty much sum up God pretty well. He knows our hearts, and like any father, he wants us to come to him when we are struggling. I just want to share my how this psalm impacted me. Just 20 months ago, I was in the middle of a breakdown. I was going to GC. I was doing tots and stuff, but I was a mess on the inside. Just after I took my second overdose in about 7 days, I remember meeting with Paul, and he pointed me towards biblical counselling, which I did start. One of the things I was advised to do was read this psalm every day, and I started to do that. And Marion is the perfect witness to how I was at the beginning. I was, difficult. I wouldn't do the things that she asked me to do. I would often almost fall asleep, or like pretty much every time. It just seemed like I wasn't bothered. And I would also cancel last minute when she was probably literally outside the building waiting for me to come, although she was very gracious with me. This psalm completely changed my life. It was one of the things that certainly helped to change my life and helped to shape where I am now. I know it seems to be like a day for poetry today. Like I didn't hear it. I was too busy in here being all nervous and stuff and sweating. So I wrote a poem based on the psalm. And it goes, God is my shelter, he keeps me safe in his arms. No matter what I say to him, he never does me any harm. But I feared a lot when the world around me appeared to be... I feared a lot when the world around me appeared to be falling apart. I ignored God and tried to fix things, but this was just the start of my misery, my pain. What was I trying to gain? I made the same mistakes again. Well, that used to be me, it isn't anymore. What was I thinking? I was in so much pain, I didn't think this life was worth living for. But I was broken, and God came and picked me up. He renewed my heart and my mind. He forgave me and let me start over. He filled my cup, it runneth over. God is our fortress when the nations are raging. Let his living water flow over me. A strong man in me he is creating. And on a solid rock I stand, a rock that cannot be moved. I'm not that foolish man who built his house on sand. His power and grace have been proved. He has power to end wars. He brought forth the Genesis flood. But when things get really bad and you think you can't carry on, he says, be still and know that I am God. After reading this, reading on how much Luther was encouraged by Psalm 46, I was really stirred to write this, and this is my response to the psalm. And I guess the question is, what will your response be? And it's not something that I need to know. This is something for you to think about when you pray. So some further questions for you to contemplate. These are questions that I ask myself all the time. What will you surrender to God right now and prove for yourself his power to be your refuge? What crisis or situation are you going to let go of and go to God who you know can help? Are you going to seek a heart change to strengthen your relationship with God? I can't tell you what to do here. From my point of view, these are matters of the heart, and I want you to think about times when you felt anxious or certain, or that things are out of your control. I want you to think and pray if any of this applies to you. And these are things that I pray about every single day. If you have business to do with God, then get on with it and get it done. Let's not do the stiff upper lip thing and brush things under the carpet. And it's a very British thing to do, and we love to do that. But let's not do that in this situation. Remember who God is. He is a God who saves. He is our hope in times of need. And this is something I thank God for every single day. His ultimate act of love was to send his only son to die for us. He provides for us and gives us wisdom, so we should seek to learn from every difficult situation that we may find ourselves in. And he always welcomes us back with open arms. As I said, if this has affected you in any way, don't let it go. Take action and let God lighten the load. And to finish, we're going to sing a couple of songs. They talk about who God is, his character, and that he's greater than anything. And in this talk, you've heard Luther's response to the psalm. You've heard mine. What's yours going to be? The two songs that we're going to sing is one is "The Mighty Fortress Is Our God." You know, it goes to that bit at the end where the men do one bit and the women do another bit. This side, we're going to do two sides. This is more men than women here. So this side is going to be "A Mighty Fortress Is Our God," and this side is going to sing that bit when they go, "His kingdom is forever." So we're gonna kind of do it like that. So, and that's. Sorry, I forgot the slides. Anyway, that's it. We're done.
We won't woe.
No woes.
We won't woe. So all the bits where it's like whoa.
Whoa.